The CSA approach flips the old FDA validation paradigm and focuses on critical thinking, traceability of assurance needs and testing activities, and then documentation in that order. CSV had previously emphasized the opposite approach in test validation, with the lion's share of attention being devoted to documentation and the descending focus on testing activities, assurance traceability across the SDLC, and critical thinking as demonstrated in this next graphic. So as you can see, the current state, and I'm sure we're all familiar with this pyramid here, is you'd assess, then you'd spend some time on traceability, your testing activity, and then your documentation would get the lion's share of activity here. As we're shifting into this new model, you're going to assess for the majority of time up front. Once again, you're looking to reduce that burden of the overall testing. If everything is a high priority, you're going to spend more time testing, more time releasing, updating, and documenting. But now if we assess up front, associate risk with all of those requirements, then you eventually establish your traceability, your testing activities, and your documentation lessen accordingly. So the current state is really associated with higher operational cost overall. If you can have less resources testing overall, less resources documenting those testing efforts, and less post-production defects, you're going to have a lower or higher operational cost or a lower operational cost, vice versa. The current state has less adoption for enhancements of new technology. It's very tough to introduce new technology, enhancements to the tools and products that you have. Then you have a higher risk of non-conformance in this current state. When we look at the new state, there's a reduction in operating costs through resources, documentation, and post-production defects. We're able to reallocate those resources to different areas in the business where they can do high-value activities. You're going to see an increased release frequency, leading to increased adoption of new technologies, increased adoption of those enhancements that your team are looking to incorporate into your tools. And then you'll have a lower risk of non-compliance here. So anytime that you can remove the human element, human risk, human error from this equation, the better chance that you have of having a lower risk of non-conformance.